Now, preferences. Whenever the PM is asked about them, he always says it's not his decision.
I don't accept preferences. People go into polling booths and put numbers next to names. So the preference allocation, of course, will be done by the organisational wing.
Despite the fact, of course, he's not telling you there, he is on the board of Labor's National Executive. In fact, he's got the casting vote. And whenever he's asked about the Greens' policies and whether or not it might become Labor policy after the election, well, he says he won't negotiate with the Greens.
Can you rule out any changes to negative gearing and capital gains tax?
Yes. How hard is it for the 50th time?
And will you rule out using them as negotiating tools with the Greens in horse trading?
To form a government?
No, in horse trading for votes on other matters.
What are you talking about? Sorry.
No, he says. Well, someone must have negotiated with the Greens, because in every single seat bar one, the Greens, or the Gucci Greens, the Teals, well, they've received Labor's top preference. The only seat where Labor are not preferencing the Greens, they're not preferencing anyone here, instead running a genuinely open ticket, is the Melbourne seat in Macnamara, where the sitting Labor MP is Jewish. Apparently, he asked for a dispensation on the grounds that he couldn't countenance preferencing a party that's failed to condemn Hamas. That's the only one. And I suppose that explains why, when appearing with Josh Burns over the weekend, the Prime Minister refused to take questions on preferences.
What do you think of Mark Dreyfus preferencing the Green Senate as you've left your ticket open?
He was asked there about his Attorney General, also Jewish, Mark Dreyfus. Well, he's preferencing the Greens. Today we learned poor old Josh Burns, well, he's been gagged by the Prime Minister. This is yet again the story of a Labor leader who wants to have it both ways, attacking the Greens as extremists when it suits him, but then doing preference deals with them because there's nothing he won't do or say to cling on to power. Do a deal with the devil? Sure, says the Prime Minister. I'll preference the Greens. Promise voters you'll cut their power bills, even if you never will? Absolutely. He did that, didn't he? It's no surprise that most of my viewers, well, you're now calling him the liar in the lodge, because that's who he is. If he survives, because of the Greens, there will be wealth taxes, death duties, illicit drug legislation, and the end to all fossil fuel use in this country. The PM, if forced, would no doubt say that he's got no real choice here, because at least a dozen of his MPs owe their seats to Green preferences. But if he really does believe the Greens are an extremist party, as he says, well, then he's got to put them last, or at least put the coalition candidate ahead of them. After all, that's what Labor's Peter Dutton's doing, except in a handful of seats where there's even a more unsavoury candidate than the Green. Yet again, this is a Prime Minister who says one thing and does another. And when challenged, he prevaricates. As we heard from Adam Bant 2 weeks ago at the Press Club, the number one deal breaker for the Greens is an end to negative gearing.
I can announce today that the Greens will make reforming negative gearing and the capital gains tax discount a priority in the next parliament, including when there's a minority government.
This amounts, if it happens, to a massive new tax on landlords, which will put up rents as landlords seek to protect their returns, and massively reduce supply as landlords sell out of suddenly unprofitable housing. Modelling published today suggests that ending negative gearing for rental properties and abolishing the capital gains tax discount, another demand of the Greens, would increase rents by some $83 a week and prompt almost 500,000 rental properties to be withdrawn from the market. Yet by engaging in what amounts to an electoral deal with the Greens and negotiating with them even by proxy, the PM's effectively created a Labor-Greens alliance. And what an unholy alliance that is. Just one example in the seat of Blaxland in Sydney's West, where Labor's Education Minister Jason Clare is preferencing at number 2 a Greens candidate who has claimed that, and I quote, the overwhelming majority of Israelis are genocidal, racist scum. Now, honestly, you can tell a lot about someone by the company they keep. Whatever the PM might say about the Greens, it's what he does that matters. The liar in the lodge, so you tell me. That's why he's not worthy of being re-elected.